What's going on, guys? I'm Sonic, I'm the best lean user in the world, and in this new video I'm here to reconstruct for you the amazing 502 average that Max Yao recently got in competition. Guys, I'm so excited yet so depressed for this average because I'm aware that it's gonna be incredibly difficult for anyone to beat. So without further ado, let's get into the reconstruction. So, for the first scramble where he got a 523, which is actually his worst counting solve, he got shield scallop. For this one here, he did a Z2 and got even parity, which meant that he simply put the scallop in the back and paired these two edges to these two to solve CSP, like this. And then after that, he simply solved scallop kite like this. After doing that, he got a pretty decent OBL that even though it's 5 slices, so pretty inefficient, it's actually really simple to do. What he did is just a U and then JJ in the front to bring this here and to pair these two. So he did it like this and then just finished OBL like that. Oh, and remember, he has black on top. Now for the PBL, he got a really simple case, which is KK, and for this one here, he did a really simple thing because it's just 5 slices, and guess what? The equator is also flipped. So he just did a U and then used the following algorithm. And then a D prime ADF. Now I'll simply skip the second solve because he got an awful time, he messed up CSP, and there is nothing to really learn from it, so we're just going in the third solve directly, which was a 497. For this case, he got shield fist, and now in inspection he did a Y2, so to get this from a better angle, and now he just did the pretty standard solution for shield fist, which is just putting the shield here, like that, going into pwn, and then he solved it, like that. Now, here he got a really lucky OBL, because this case can just be done in 2 slices. What it did was to pair this gem with this single corner to get this case, and then it just solved it like that. Now for the PBL, it got a pretty decent case as well because it's AF, and if you don't know the way you can solve AF, you actually have a couple ways. You can either do JJ to go in JR, or you can just put the blocks in the back and do a JJ to then go in UU, which is what it did. So UU just goes like this. And then U D prime and the cue ball solved. Now, for the fourth solution where he got a 484, he got this case of 4-2L that he solved by doing a Y2, and because it was odd, so kind of the worst solution, he brought these 4 here in the back and paired them with the L to get this case of 2-5-1 that you can just reduce into scallop kite like this. Now, this is not really the most efficient way because it could have done something like this, but I understand that with a finger tricks, this could be actually faster, so just did that. Now for OBL, he had this case right here. I don't even know the way it's called, but basically simply did 1 -3 slice, and then he just went into this pretty simple case where he paired this gem with this corner and then just solved it. Now it was pretty lucky because it was just 3 slices, and in general he got some pretty lucky cases overall. I mean, how are you supposed to get a low 5 average with bad cases? I mean, that's impossible, obviously. And now for PBL, he got actually a not good, not bad case. It's just 8 slices, pretty clean. And if you don't know how to solve UA, it's basically just like this. So you put the U like this, okay? And the A like this. So by doing a JJ algorithm, you actually reduce yourself to another JJ case that he just solved normally, okay? And then U2 DABF and the cube was solved. Now, for the last solution, he got 4-2 line, which is normally pretty good, but unfortunately got the odd solution, which is the worst one. And in inspection, he just kept the red in front. And to solve the odd solution of this case, you just have to do a slice, bring these 2 here on the left. And as you can see, you just go in scallop kite in a couple slices, and then you just solve it. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of blocks, so with Lin, this solution would have been super crazy, but obviously it's using another method, so it wasn't as crazy for him. Now for OBL, what he did is just 5 -3, and then he did slice to reduce himself to this pretty simple case that he could just solve in a couple slices, like this. And then for PBL, he got a pretty decent case as well. Now this can technically be solved in 7 slices if I'm not wrong, but it just didn't do it, probably because of the pressure. I mean, at this point, you already had a low 5 and a high 4 counting. And remember that when this solve was done, the world record was 582, so any slightly decent solve could give him the world record. But well, he got something way better than decent, considering he got 486. Now, here, what he did was just 3-3, and then a JJ algorithm to reduce himself to edge-edge. Now, at this point, he should have put the adjacents like this, doing edge-edge, and then canceling into a bar flip like this. That would also give him no AUF. But what it did, probably because of the fact that he was really nervous at that point, having a world record in his hands, it just did -6-3 like that and solved it in the back, pretty standard, with a bar flip, and then just U prime, D prime, and the cube was solved as well. So, final considerations, Max Yao is by far the best quanter in the world right now. There's nothing to say about it. But why is it so good? Basically, there are two things that make him so good. His turning and his efficiency, because he has an insane turning style that's like 10 times better than mine. I turn like shit compared to him. And even though it sometimes locks up, it can just turn so quick that it doesn't matter at all. And second thing is efficiency, because now that he obviously is full CSP, full OBL, and he has a pretty decent PBL as well, his solves are as efficient as mine. And despite the fact that with Lars, he pauses quite a lot, with his turning and efficiency, he actually compensates for that completely. So what can we say? Congratulations, Max Yao, and I really hope you guys learned a lot from these reconstructions. So until the next video, good cubing.